Welcome back to my channel. Today's a Monday, February the 19th, and I'm going to kind of pick up where I left off. I'm just getting over the flu, so I'll try my best not to cough and hack through the video. But I just want to welcome everybody back, and I have some new subscribers, and welcome. Today I'm going to talk about my mother, Dorothy. Everybody called her Dort, and the affair that she had. Now, I'm sure she had more than one affair, but this particular one is the one that she involved me and my sisters in with her. She used us as an excuse so that she could get away and meet up with this man. And his name was Garland. And I just remember that he had black hair and he had a thick black mustache. And he lived in another town about 17 miles north of Lumberton called Poplarville. So Mother would use us or use me, I know me for sure, as an excuse so that she could get away and meet up with this guy, Garland. And I remember one time she told Daddy that she was taking Glenda Merle to the Gulf Coast, and so that I could play out on the beach and everything. But she wasn't taking Glenda Merle to the Gulf Coast. She was going to Gulfport to meet a boyfriend. And I remember being in that motel room with her and him during the night. And I guess there was just one bed because I woke up in the middle of the night and I was in bed with Mother and Garland. So it was just disgusting. And for all of y'all, just so you know that I have reconciled, my feelings towards my mother. When I was in psychotherapy, I did write her a 17-page letter, and I let her know, how I felt about all the bad things that she did to me. And I have reconciled myself with her. She died in 1993, and I just don't hold any resentments towards her anymore. I just don't care. I just learned how to not be like her and how to be a good mother. And my children love me to death. And so does my grandson. So I'm happy about that. But anyway, Mother, she, back then, I guess she couldn't just call his house. So we would go get in the car, and Mother would raise up the hood of the car, and she'd have a little cigarette hanging out the side of her mouth, and she would go underneath the hood of the car with that cigarette smoke in her eyes. And I just remember seeing her unplugging the wire to the odometer. That way she could, drive to Poplarville and ride around his house without Daddy knowing how many miles she put on the car. But she would drag me up there with her, and she would just circle around and around and around and around for hours, hoping that Garland would see her. And, he did eventually see her riding around his house. And then she would go park at this service station and sit there and wait for him. And I would be in the car with her while she was talking to him, and he would reach in and kiss her, and it was just disgusting. And she would always tell me, now if you tell your father about Garland, then he will divorce me, and y'all are going to have to go live in an orphanage. And, that was the fear that she put in me. And this went on for many, many years. I guess I was about 8 years old. That's little Glenda Merle. And I think that's about when the affair with Garland started. And this is the house out there on Highway 13 where I grew up. And so I'm telling y'all this because I'm trying to get up to the point of, when I met the guy that ended up being my first husband. But Mother used to always tell me, hurry up and get married and get out of the house. Oh, she just hated having me in the house. And when I was 14, I started dating this guy named Michael. And he was a senior in high school. And I never liked him, but actually I was 13 when I started dating him. And by the time I broke up with him, I was 14. But I never liked him. He kept, trying to get me to lay down with him in the back seat of the car and Back then we called it going all the way. And I didn't want to. It was disgusting. And he just kept on and on and on. And finally, I just broke up with him. Well, he came out to the house and talked to Mother, and he told me that he was going to join the Army and go to Vietnam. I said, go to Vietnam. I don't care. Go. I hate you. And Mother was mad at me because I broke up with him. She said, why did you want to break up with Michael? He's such a nice guy. But anyway, she just kept on and on and on. Hurry up and get married and get out of the house. So, I was looking for somebody to marry me. And, I told y'all in another video about my high school sweetheart, how I was so in love with Harold. And then he got Cynthia pregnant and they eloped. And then I was just left, dangling out there looking for somebody to marry me. So then, back that summer of the 1969, I had graduated from high school that year and was getting ready to go to Pearl River Junior College. And that was the year that they had started building the interstate highways. And along the highways, they built the gas stations. Well, I met this guy that was pumping gas there at a Gulf oil station, and his name was Scott. And so I started dating Scott, and he eventually became my first husband. So this video's getting too long, y'all. I hate to cut it off, but I'm trying to get up to that point so I can start telling you about my first marriage. So this will be the prequel to the first husband. So y'all just keep on coming back, guys. Bye.